Separation techniques in chromatography. This is our topic for today, and I am Ankita Oja, Assistant Professor from the Department of Chemistry, Maharaja College, Ara. The basic part of any research involves the synthesis, but besides synthesis, we sometimes get a mixture of products. So separation of components of mixture in any product is the most important and basic step for the analysis of the chemical system. And chromatography, it is one of the most common and basic method which is applied for the analysis of the chemical system. It is a dynamic process and it involves two phases. First is the mobile phase and second is the stationary phase. Mobile phase can be solid, can be liquid or gas, while the stationary phase are mostly made up of granular solids or thin film liquid that is adsorbed on the solid surface. Now there are various ways to separate the compounds in chromatography. In chromatography, we are having paper chromatography, thin layer chromatography, column chromatography, gas chromatography, high pressure liquid chromatography, that is HPLC. The compounds that are separated can be identified by characterization techniques like UV visible spectra, IR spectra, NMR spectra, and elemental analysis, that is CHN analysis techniques. The chromatographic process is both qualitative as well as the quantitative phenomena for the study of mixture of products. Starting about the basics of a chromatography, we'll talk about what is the distribution coefficient or equilibrium distribution. Mainly, equilibrium distribution or distribution coefficient is the ratio of the concentration of any component in stationary phase and mobile phase. So it can be defined as the ratio, or means if we have to explain it mathematically, we can predict it as concentration of any component A in stationary phase divided by the concentration of component A in the mobile phase. Chromatography, which is an excellent or efficient method of separation because different components within a mixture, they are attracted to the adsorbent surfaces. Silica gel is used in thin layer chromatography. Alumina gel is also used for TLC method, but silica being most common and OH group of silanols can be easily tuned for your studies. The stationary phase has varying degrees which depends on each component's polarity and its unique structural characteristic and also its interaction with the mobile phase. There are various analysis and separation techniques. We will talk about it. First is prepare chromatography, second is thin layer chromatography, then we are talking about gas chromatography GC and high pressure liquid chromatography, that is HPLC. These are preliminary tests and they are used to find out the total number of components in a mixture, means they are the preliminary analysis techniques. Second one being the separation techniques, means we are having TLC, thin layer chromatography, which is used for microgram quantity. Then we have column chromatography for gram quantity, high pressure liquid chromatography which we use for the milligram quantity, and gas chromatography which we are using for milligram quantity. The basic part of any research involves the synthesis, but besides synthesis, first we will talk about the plate theory. Plate theory describes a chromatographic system to be in equilibrium between the stationary and mobile phase. The column is assumed to be divided into the number of imaginary theoretical plates. As the number of plates in a column increases or the height equivalent theoretical plates increases, the separation of the component occurs. It provides an equation which describes the elution curve of the chromatogram of a solute. It can also be used to find the volume and column efficiency. So H is equal to L by N. H is the height of our theoretical plate, L is the column length, and N is the number of the theoretical plates. Second is our rate theory. What is rate theory? Rate theory, it describes the migration of the molecules in the column. So therefore, it can also explain the band shape, broadening of the band, and the diffusion of a solute. This theory actually follows the Van Demeter equation. Van Demeter equation is the most appropriate equation which is used for predicting the dispersion of liquid column chromatography. This theory also takes into account about the various pathways that a sample must travel through a column. Van Demeter equation helps to find the optimum velocity and a minimum plate height which is needed for the separation. So H is equal to A plus B by U and Cu, where A is the diffusion, eddy diffusion, B is the longitudinal division, C is the mass transfer, and u is the linear velocity. Moving ahead, we should know how a chromatography technique works. Let us assume that a column is packed with a granular solid and a fluid is flowing through this column. So any species X that dissolves in a fluid is carried along this column and some of it is held on the surface of solid through adsorption mechanism. So this molecule X spends some of its time in the mobile phase and then it moves forward, and some of it is also held in the immobile solid surface. The two different species, that is X and Y, they are separated on the basis of the difference of their relative affinity. And any species among these, it spends most of its time either in the mobile phase or the stationary phase. Talking about the partition ratio. What is partition ratio? It is defined as the number of moles of any solute. For example, we are talking about a solute X in the stationary phase to the number of moles of solute in the mobile phase. It mainly measures the retention of the compound, and it is the property of a particular combination of a fixed and mobile phase for a given solute. It is given by symbol K dash and can be expressed at K dash is equal to Ns by Nm, where Ns and Nm shows the number of moles of solute in stationary and the mobile phases. The extent of separation of two substances in mobile and stationary phases can be given as, where these two terms represent the partition ratio of both the components, as alpha. So for the higher value of Ns, it can be proved that the number of moles of solute in stationary phase is more, and therefore it needs the most time for elution. The value of K dash is assigned in such a way that it shows the order of elution also, and therefore alpha is always greater than unity. Now talking about the steps of the chromatography. The sample is first injected column in small and compact dose, and the components start their trip on the same time. Similarly, a suitable detector is also placed at the end for output, and hence will generate peaks that corresponds to the emergence of various peaks at the recorded traces. For a 4-component system, 4 peaks are seen as shown in the figure on the basis of retention time, such that T1 is least and T4 is most highly held component in a stationary phase. So moving ahead for the next figure. So this graph represents the steps of the chromatographic separation for 4-component system, where T4 is the last eluted solute and T1 is the first eluted solute. Since T4 is more stable and has more time in stationary phase, so these components keep on separating while moving through the column, and therefore more the length of column means enhanced peak resolution. But upstream and downstream diffusion also leads to the broadening of moving zone occupied by each component. This broadening is proportional to the square root of time spent in the column. The broadening peak reduces the precision of the component's position, which in turn restricts the length of the column. This peak shows various parameters which are important for a chromatographic peak. The standard deviation from the mean, that is sigma, is equal to 1/2 of the width of the height level, and geometry is equal to W by 4. The relation between the width and retention time can be given by the equation WA by WB is equal to TA by TB power half. This equation is for 2-component systems A and B. Talking about the partition ratio. What is partition ratio? First we will talk about the normal phase chromatography. The components in a mixture will elute at a different rate depending on each one's polarity relative to the next component. When the column is used for the separation is more polar than the mobile phase, the experiment is said to be normal phase method. In this, the stationary phase is mainly polar and more polar solutes are separated, adhering more to the stationary adsorbent phases. On passing the solvent or gradient of solvent through the column, less polar components will be eluted faster than the more polar components, and the components are collected separately, assuming adequate separation was achieved in order of the increasing polarity. So mainly the polarity is changed from time to time and the column gets separation of the solute. First we will talk about the plate theory. Plate theory describes a chromatographic system to be in equilibrium between the stationary and mobile phase. The column is assumed to be divided into the number of imaginary theoretical plates. As the number of plates in a column increases or the height equivalent theoretical plates increases, the separation of the component occurs. It provides an equation which describes the elution curve of the chromatogram of a solute. It can also be used to find the volume and column efficiency. So H is equal to L by N. H is the height of our theoretical plate, L is the column length, and N is the number of the theoretical plates. So this is all for today, to be continued in the next lecture for chromatography. Till then, keep reading, and if you have any query, you can post it on university website. Thank you, and stay home, stay safe.